Hey guys, it's JJ. Welcome back to the Texans franchise where we're going to start into a new season today. First up, it's the preseason where we're just going to jump ahead quickly. Not much sense in dragging this out a lot. We still have basically the same team. There's a few new players on the defense, but the offense is still mainly the same. We still have Angelo Mendoza as our quarterback, Dakota McKenzie as the running back. Still have the same four receivers. We added a couple new ones in the offseason, but I don't think they are going to see the field much this season. A couple of backup linemen and stuff changed, but good to see that Dakota McKenzie is still the same dude, running for 14 yards on that one. And then they're going to head it off again, and he's going to run ahead with a 16-yard gain. This is exactly what I want this season to be about. Of course, we're going to pass it a lot as well, but Dakota McKenzie is developing into one of the great running backs in the league, so I want to lean on that. Now, in the last play, we saw that Ryan Springs is still the same edge rusher, but now we're seeing somebody new make an impact. Second round pick James Bautista just had a great pass break up there. And now on the outside, that's broken up. That's Avery Saunders, a backup corner. That has been on the team for a couple of years, but he looks pretty solid there. And then Bridgewater, our new backup quarterback, is going to pass it out there to Jelani Woods, who I think is a new tight end we added in the offseason. So that's great to see that he's also going to make a catch, and there he is again with a nice 16-yard gain. Now 3rd and 18, and that's basically unwinnable. They go play action, and they do get it, and that's Woods again, and that's 17 yards. So that's great news, and we're already almost done with the first half of the preseason, as we have a sack by Martin Monroe, a backup edge rusher. We also added another edge rusher in the offseason, Markel Phillips. I think it was a 7th round pick or something. And then a couple defensive tackles, as we have Matthew Thierry with a nice catch there over the middle. Good to see that our 4th receiver still doing everything we need, as Bridgewater one-on-one down the sideline. Thierry wins it, and that's a touchdown. And Thierry definitely needs some more playing time. That's something that we can't avoid. He's really good. As the Vikings are now on offense, and there we've got a sack. That's Desmond King in the backfield. And he might lose his starting job, but because we got ourselves what's his name, the corner from Indianapolis, Kenny something. He's going to be a new slot, so I'm probably going to move on from Desmond King in the not too far future. Bridgewater now on 2nd and 12, and over the middle a catch is made, and that's Deontay Barkley, I think 6th round rookie or something. He looks pretty good. That's a nice catch, great concentration and double coverage, and now one-on-one wide open. It's Thierry again for the deep shot. Yeah, he has the speed that almost nobody on our team has. So he is the default deep threat on this team. So he definitely needs some more targets thrown his way. We've got a couple of really good physical receivers in Justin Ross and Devian Davenport. And then we've got the typical slot receiver in AJ Lincoln. But Thierry is a deep threat on this team, as Bridgewater is being pressured. 6-man rush, and Woods with a great catch over the middle. That's 23 yards for the Texans right there. Now we're into the 4th quarter, 2-minute warning. Bridgewater with a 4-man rush, and he stands tall in the pocket and delivers an 18-yard strike to Thierry. And that's already game 1 done. 1st and goal from the 3-yard line, and that's a nice run stop. That's Nick Abbott, the backup linebacker, that has to play a little bit because James Bautista, Bautista is on the field still. In a few snaps, Bautista is going to get hurt, and so that's not great news. But Davenport is going to have a nice connection over the middle there, 18 yards. He still looks great. Now, this is hurry up within the 2-minute warning, and Mendoza gets it away to Davenport again. And that's another 20 yards. That kid looks really good. 6'5" with like 92 speed or something. Looks really good. Mendoza on the outside, and AJ Lincoln still looks great. That was a nice route. He had a couple yards separation there as the Bears have an injury. 3rd and 15 now. We're into the 3rd quarter, and Bridgewater is going to get it away, and that's Thierry. What a catch in double coverage. Great play. Yeah, if Diego Cordova ever goes down, we do not have a problem at all, as Martin Monroe gets another preseason sack. We're into the 4th quarter now. Jelani Woods looks really good as well. And then for the O-line, we have a bunch of good O-liners as backups as well. Like, they would be starting somewhere in the league if they weren't playing for us. But we have a few O-linemen that might leave the team soon, and we need to be prepared for that. And that O-line looks pretty solid here in the preseason, the backup O-line, I mean. So that's great news, as James Bautista, like I said, got hurt. He had a broken thumb, and he's going to be out for 4 weeks. So that's going to include week 3 of the preseason, the bye week, week 1, and week 2 of the regular season. Now we have a couple scenarios here. We have a breakout thingy for AJ Lincoln. That is so weird. But, well, I mean, what are you going to do? I would have loved if it had gone to Matthew Thierry, but AJ Lincoln is going to get +2 catch and traffic here. And we're going to go to the training camp spotlight thingy. Chris Portillo gets something. He's already been on the team for like 3 years or something. He's one of the first players we drafted. That's an eternity ago. He still gets a camp breakout something or other. But yeah, we're going to get him +5 player rec, and that's a nice thing because he was still a young linebacker and he still needs to develop a little bit. So that's nice. Mendoza on a rollout in game 3 now, and he throws a dart to Justin Ross. What a play, 17 yards down the field. That's how you start preseason. This is the game where the starters were in for 3 quarters. And Mendoza gets pressured and blitz is picked up. Cordova with a nice catch over the middle. That's 14 yards. And they move the chains. 2nd and inches now, as Mendoza is going to have his blitz picked up. And on the outside, that's Cordova again. Oh, man. I'm so excited about this season. It has been a while since I've gotten back into it because... well, college football has been too much fun. But this offense looks great already. And Justin Ross with a nice catch over the middle. We're still going to run the same playbook as last year. I think we're going to focus on the run a little bit more. I don't think we're going to get to 5,000 passing yards with Mendoza again. But it looks pretty great. And do you recognize who that is? That is Rashard Winters, the receiver that I completely whiffed on. I had a chance to pick him like twice in that draft class, and he fell to the 2nd round, even though he was like a top 5 value. Like, that kid was so good, and I missed out. And now he torches Derek Stingley there. That's a great play. Mendoza throws it over the middle, and that's Justin Ross on a 14-yard connection between 2 defenders. A great play, tackled by Jordan Brooks. Now 1st and 10. We're inside 2 minutes now. And Mendoza is pressured again. 6-man rush and wide open. That's a new player on the team. It's Diami Brown. And he might be the number 5 receiver. We still have Corey Davis on the team, I think. Both of those guys are going to be, not seeing the field a whole lot. Number 1s through 4 are going to be Ross, Davenport, Lincoln, and Thierry, our young players. But it's nice to see Diami Brown make a play. And then Ryan Springs with the sack. He's still the ever-great pass rusher. And there he is again. Yeah, he's ready. He looks ready to take a new season on. To take on a new season. Sorry. Bridgewater on the rollout now, and he throws it back to Matthew Thierry with a nice catch. And I think we're in the fourth quarter now. I think this is the backups now. As Thierry with a great catch there, great concentration, running away with the quarterback. And on the outside, the pass is broken up there by Avery Saunders, who has been making some plays this preseason. And now we have another snap on defense here, and somebody's going down again. It's Abbott and a Monroe in the backfield. So a couple of kids making plays. And yeah, I think this game is almost over. A couple more plays. Bridgewater now on the outside. Great release there for Matthew Thierry. Lots of space to the outside. 21 yards on that connection. And we're almost done. 2 minutes left in the preseason, and we have another deep ball down the field, and it's broken up and intercepted. And that was JT Lindsay on the pass breakup, Elijah Higgins on the interception. JT Lindsay is a corner we picked in like the second round or something in the last draft. And he had a nice PBU right there. As Thierry gets another catch over the middle. That kid is so reliable. I can't believe it, honestly. He's playing so well. Now, 2nd and 10. Bridgewater over the middle. That's Deontay Barkley with a nice catch. Almost broke a tackle there if there wasn't another guy. 2nd and goal. Bridgewater in the end zone. That's caught, and that's De'Ami Brown with another score. And yeah, Brown looks pretty good as well. Hasn't been given many targets in this preseason, but when given the opportunity, he has made the plays definitely. As Seahawks get a last chance to make something happen, and that's Markel Phillips. I think our 7th round pick, maybe 6th round. I'm not sure, but late round pick from the last draft, and he gets a sack in as well, just as the preseason was about to die. And yeah. We have another injury. Greg Springs, our right guard, is going to be done for weeks 1, 2, and 3, I think, of the regular season. So that's not great news. But let's have a look at the stats. We have a Bridgewater with a nice 5-touchdown preseason performance. Angelo Mendoza had 4, but you can see the difference in quarterback play if you look at the completion percentage. As Mendoza had 74 and Bridgewater had 51. So... But also Bridgewater had to play with the backup line. Now, for runners, there is not much to talk about. I'd say it was a good preseason for everybody except Rashard Forbes, McKenzie, and Travis Etienne had a solid preseason. Thierry had a massive preseason. Davenport had a good one. Justin Ross caught everything he needed to. Jelani Woods. Even De'Ami Brown had 2 touchdowns, 9 catches, 82 yards. That's a great start on offense here. Barkley, Lincoln, everybody contributed. Not many drops. The only player that really didn't get much opportunity was Corey Davis, but that's just because we already know what he is. And then, yeah, we had Chris Portillo fly all over the field. Jamie Cantu with a good performance. But who really stood out is actually, before he got hurt, Bautista had a really good preseason. His first game was really good, and then in the second game he got injured like in the first quarter or something. But he looked pretty solid as well. And then Martin Monroe with 3 sacks. Markel Phillips gets 2 sacks. Abbott's in the backfield a couple of times. He also got a couple TFLs. Ryan Springs. This looks pretty solid, pretty promising. The only disappointing players on defense were honestly the 2 defensive tackles that I drafted. They did not show up at all. That's pretty disappointing. But I am moving forward with my plan to get rid of a defensive tackle here. Grover Stewart. He's not a star defensive tackle or anything. I'd rather stick with the young guys, and we're going to trade him away to a rival. Probably gonna see him again in the postseason if we make it there, but we get back a 3. He's still a good player, and we are also gonna trade away Desmond King. I got him because he's a great slot corner. But now I have an even better slot corner in Kenny Moore. Forgot his name earlier. But Kenny Moore is going to take over slot duties. And if he's hurt, well, I mean, that's okay. We still have a couple other corners on the team. We might find a solution. But Desmond King is going to go to the Lions. So we get a 5th rounder back. And yeah, let's take a look at preseason cuts. Starting down there, Rasheem DeLoach is going to be cut. We also cut Cordell Vasher. We cut Antoine Bishop. Just a bunch of corners that didn't really have an impact at all. Amari Hamilton is going to go to the practice squad, just like Chris Gandy. We're going to release corner Byron Redmond, not safety Byron Redmond. Those are 2 different players. We release a center. We sign a Andrew Royal to the practice squad. A bunch of receivers that are going to be cut or added to the practice squad. And a couple of running backs added to the practice squad as well. So nothing crazy happening here. But let's take a quick look at the final roster for the season. Angelo Mendoza, obviously going to be the starting quarterback. We have Teddy Bridgewater as his backup. I think he did a fine enough job to keep that role, even though we still have Sam Howell on the roster. Didn't play him in preseason because I wanted to see what Bridgewater can do. He's definitely the more accurate quarterback. And then at running back, we have Dakota McKenzie. He's going to be the starter. Travis Etienne is going to be getting some handoffs as a receiving back, and Forbes and Meadows are just going to be backups for now. So nothing to worry about there. We have Kyle Juszczyk as a fullback. We have Justin Ross. He's going to be the X. We have AJ Lincoln. He's going to be the slot. Devian Davenport is going to be the Z. Now, we still have a bunch of players at 75 overall, as Matthew Thierry definitely separated himself from the bunch. He's going to get a little bit more playing time. He might replace Davenport as a Z from time to time or something. We'll see. De'Ami Brown is going to be replacing him. He's also going to play in the slot. And Corey Davis, well, I mean, he's not going to play at all, I'd say. And that Deontay Barkley is going to be the number 7. I'm just keeping him on the roster to not have him picked up by somebody else. He's a really good player to develop, at least. Diego Cordova is going to be starting tight end. I'm not worried about Jelani Woods if he has to play. At tackle, we have Jedrick Wills, who I think his contract runs out this season. So it's good that I picked up LaShawn Galloway in the last draft. And then we have Kenyon Green. I just signed him to a big deal, so he's set there. Kobe Nicholson is just a swing guard, nothing special. Also going to be backup center. Now we have Eric McCoy in the middle, who is 29, and I think also that his contract is expiring, so he might not be playing a whole lot longer, as we have an injury there with Ryan Springs at right guard. That's going to be replaced by Colby Nicholson. And then at right tackle, we have Tristan Wirfs. He's going to be here for a long time, and Stephen Greenberry. So we'll see. Maybe I'll move Greenberry to guard or something, or I don't know. Maybe we have a competition for the left tackle spot once the Wills leaves. Now we have 2 edge rushers in Starks and Springs that are going to play. We have Markel Phillips, Johnny Buchanan, and Martin Monroe as the backup edge rushers. I wanted to keep all of them on the roster. Everybody did pretty well. And then at defensive tackle, we now still have BJ Hill. He's going to be the run stopper. Deacon Stallworth is going to be a pass rusher. Tompkins is also going to be a pass rusher. And then Blaylock is going to be a backup. And Orlando Daniels, believe it or not, is going to start in 4-3 base because he has pretty solid run-stopping skills, even though it may not look like a starting player at 70 overall. But I think he can do a pretty solid job. And then we have a linebacker. We have Jamie Cantu, who's going to be starting. Nick Abbott, I kept him on the roster. He did really well in the preseason. We have Chris Portillo in the middle. He has been developing real nicely. And then Elijah Higgins is going to be a backup who had the pick. And then we have James Bautista, who is sadly injured, but just for a couple of games. He's going to start in 4-3 base, but not going to be playing in nickel or dime. And then we have Alex Day and Derek Stingley, our 2 outside corners, with Kenny Moore on the inside. And then we had a good preseason by Avery Saunders, who is an outside replacement corner. And then Lindsey might be the inside replacement corner if it gets to that. And Trey Chambers is more of a backup now. Then we have at safety Caleb Burgess. He did not have a great preseason. He got torched a couple times. And Byron Redman on the other side still looks good. Didn't really stand out in the preseason at all, but he also didn't get torched, so very neutral preseason. And then Tyree Gillespie is the backup. At kicker, we still have Kaimi Fairbairn. And at punter, we have Corey Bojorquez. Nothing changes there. Well, I mean, Bojorquez is a new punter, I think. We had somebody different last year. Can't remember who, but 97 kick power, that's why I got him. Now, let's have a quick look at the schedule, and then we're out of here. We have Ravens in the first game. That's good news to see that we don't have rivalry games to start the season, at least. Ravens and Commanders. Ravens is going to be a tough game. Commanders probably going to be pretty easy. Titans and Jaguars are the next two opponents. And then we have the Packers in week 5. Jaguars, Colts in 6 and 7. That's another two divisional games. That's pretty sad to see. A bye week in week 8. Browns, Colts. That's the 5th game in week 10. 5th divisional game in week 10. And then Eagles, Cowboys, Bengals, Dolphins, Steelers, Chiefs, and Giants. And I somehow missed the 6th rivalry game. But yeah, it doesn't matter. Oh, in week 14, yeah, the Titans there. Completely whiffed on them. So in week 14, already the last divisional game. That's obviously this pretty disappointing. It can't be that hard to program that to have the last 2 games of the season be divisional games, but can't change anything about that now. Of course, if you enjoyed the video, I would appreciate it if you gave it a thumbs up, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications, and that's gonna do it for this episode. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, please leave a like, and I'll see you next time. Have a great day.